Hello, and welcome to Coffee with M and J.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm Jaime.
As moms, entrepreneurs, and community builders, navigating the highs and lows of life and business,
we share real talk and practical tips on entrepreneurship and everyday life.
Sometimes we bring on guests to share their advice and stories to inspire and guide us.
So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get started. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with M and J. This is our official season wrap for season number 2.
We made it.
We made it. Not only did we make it, but we're growing.
We are growing.
So exciting.
Some exciting things are in the works. We're working on some amazing things that will drop in season 3. We've surpassed 1,000 downloads.
Yes, we have. We have, but we missed a step, Mandy. What is in your cup?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You got excited and you went with the excitement.
I did. I just want to share all of the things with our people.
Yes.
I am just drinking like my standard 1 pump of caramel, half and half, and coffee. Like an espresso pot, because I don't drink normal coffee. Everybody knows I'm bougie brat. Whatever. It's fine. That's what I'm drinking.
Bougie
in
brat.
One of my favorite mugs, which is it's a You Are Here mug, which is Starbucks, whatever. But it's of San Diego. It's so stinking cute. I love this mug. It's like happiness. I have 2, the Orange County one and the San Diego one. They both have my heart. I love them both. They're adorable. They're my favorite mugs. Besides my Disney mugs, which I also have those. I have mugs.
Have you had a lot of coffee today?
Possibly.
You're either really excited, really caffeinated, or both.
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is just yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, if you are local and you have not been to Embrace the Grind yet, they're not sponsored, but I'm obsessed.
Mandy, they are the best coffee, and the best people.
I'm going through a 15-ounce bag of whole beans a week, and that is what is in my cup. But I did make I made a deviation, and I don't know that I love it.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
Okay, so I'm out of almond milk. And I used just a tiny little bit of heavy whipping cream, and it is so rich.
Mm-hmm.
Like the coffee is still really delicious, but I had to put more coffee in because it was a little too creamy.
I mean, I literally use half and half every day. So I get you. Like I don't use a lot of it, but I just use just enough that it's just gives a little something extra, you know?
Oh yeah, but I didn't even have half and half. It's straight up.
You know what
heavy whipping cream.
Yeah, I actually like heavy whipping cream in my coffee. But I always put cinnamon in my coffee. I put it at the bottom of the cup so it brews hot coffee in and it like warms up the cinnamon all the time. I love cinnamon in my coffee. Cinnamon.
Now I can't even say cinnamon. I was trying to make fun.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I haven't sprinkled cinnamon on top of my coffee in a while, but I never thought of putting it in the cup to
it does make it a bit messy. But if you put it in the bottom and put the warm coffee, like the hot coffee on top of it, it's a whole different flavor.
I wonder what the heat does to activate. Like I wonder what it activates in the cinnamon.
Delicious. That's what it is. Maybe it's extra energy.
I don't know. There's lots of health benefits to cinnamon.
I love cinnamon. So it's one of my favorite flavors.
You know, I know that I shared this story somewhat recently, and I don't know if this is real podcast material, but there was a long period of time that I could not eat cinnamon.
Well, when you throw it out, that tends to happen.
This goes back to like 18.
Yeah, Fireball does that to a person.
Fire water.
Oh yeah, no.
Fire water.
That sounds painful.
Yep. So I couldn't do anything cinnamon for a really long time, but I'm so grateful that
But
I
you
have
know, I still
that I don't have
like
that aversion to cinnamon anymore.
baked cinnamon and like ground cinnamon are two different things.
Yes.
Hot cinnamon flavor and cinnamon, they're different. They're different.
True. Very true. But yes,
Yeah.
when there's that much vomit and it's
Yep.
yeah, it changes you for a minute at least.
It's fire in the hole both ways. Whatever.
Fire in the hole both ways. Okay, so clearly Mandy and I can go off the rails super easily, and we can talk about our coffee and we can talk about cinnamon and vomiting. Um,
Yep.
but what we really want to talk about today is how freaking fantastic this season was.
Yes, we learned. We're still growing. We're learning a ton about podcasting, right? Not only podcasting, I feel like we fixed our sound issues we were having before.
Mhm.
Jamie may or may not have blankets hanging from her ceilings, whatever, whatever. But we fixed some sound issues we were having. We welcomed on our first guests, and we had a whole season full of guests.
Yep.
Not guests, like guests, you know, people. We had people on. Um, it was just a really fun season.
Mm-hmm.
We learned a lot about community.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
I don't know.
We learned a lot about community. We learned a lot about other people's perspective of community.
Mm-hmm. We learned a lot about how our communication, as authentic as we are on here, is different when we're not recording.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, it's
and we're
so
trying
different.
we're trying to be more authentic in our recording. I feel like we're doing pretty good today. I feel like we're doing pretty good. But depending upon the day, we're a little bit more guarded than we normally would be, which is interesting.
Or just like safe, like
Safe is a good
not
word. Yeah.
using curse words,
Yep.
right? Being a little more politically correct, maybe being a less we are way less punchy with each other when we're recording than when we're in real life.
That is true. We are way less sassy
That's
when
right.
we're recording than we are in real life. So
But we are getting
we're
better.
working on being more authentic. Not that we're not being authentic, but it's no different than when you're trying to make a reel, right? And like you turn into this robot, you're like, oh, I'm on camera. Like my episode, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Mandy, you want to have a little chitty chat? A little chit chat chat. Chitty chat
Oh,
chat.
I was so nervous, y'all. It was my idea to do soloed episodes. Like, right? I'm like, no, Jamie, we're doing solo episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie recorded her super early, and I drug my feet. I think I recorded mine the week before it aired because I was so nervous. I tried multiple times. I'm like, this just fucking sucks. What was I thinking? And then I was horrible at it. I mean, you put us together fine, but I was bad. My episode was bad. I felt like it was bad. I'm sure it wasn't as bad because we are our own worst critic.
We are our own worst critics, and your episode was not bad. And stop saying it was bad. It was a little bit of a rough start, you know, and I literally was laughing out loud as you were like, let's have a little chit chat. And I'm drinking, and it was just like this so fast, like but to step it back even further, when we were planning season 2, and Mandy said, I think this is the season we both have a solo episode. And I was like, yeah, I think you're on your own, girl. And she's like, fine, I will do my own and you won't have a solo episode. And I don't know, one day I just felt inspired and I sat down and I recorded a podcast. And funny story about mine is I wanted to re-record mine because not that it wasn't a good message, not that the sound was bad. I mean, my phone does buzz a couple of times. I did forget the do not disturb on my phone. But community has really changed a lot for me since mine. So
why would you think that is?
Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And this entire season, we are talking about community and how
Yep.
we show up, how others show up, all the things.
It
But I
changed your perspective on community.
know that it changed my experience.
There you go.
I
And
don't
you
think
wanted
it
to
changed.
re-record, and I told you no.
And that's correct. That's correct. So there are things about both solo episodes that the other one doesn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, like we don't like about our own. Like
Yes.
I like
Yes.
Mandy's just fine. And I
And
will
yours is awesome
thank you.
and very real and authentic and deep, just like you are.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Yeah.
when it comes to public speaking, having a podcast is public speaking. And the more you do it, the better you get.
So maybe at some point in the future, probably not in season 3, we might try solo podcasting again, but we're not there yet. Can we talk about guests for a second?
Yeah, yeah.
Good for Jen for doing all those solo episodes. Jen Baker has a lot of solo episodes.
She
And
does.
I hats off to her, man. That is not easy to do, is sit there and pour into the camera or just your voice being recorded. That is not easy to do.
No, it's not. And I
No.
mean, okay, so not to take away from Jen, okay, so let's get our shit together. Let's have these
Okay.
little jumbled words, and then
Yep.
let's go through each guest and say something about each individual guest episode. Um, and then we can share the exciting news.
Yeah.
But as content creators,
Mm-hmm.
you are a content creator, Mandy.
I am.
I am a content creator. Um, we, I don't think people who do not create content or like put themselves on video,
Mm-hmm.
on audio, I don't think they understand the energy it requires.
For sure.
It is literally an energetic transfer from your mind, your heart, your soul, your mouth
Yes.
into the digital world. And
Yes.
it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery
And
to
being vulnerable.
that's what
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to say, to be vulnerable. It takes energy and courage to be vulnerable.
Yes.
So, I mean, but there are a lot of podcasts that are just solo.
Yes, they
They
are.
never have guests, and
Yep.
it's one person doing all of the talking for all of the seasons.
I do not have that many words, I don't think, for all the seasons.
I do.
You have lots of words. Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Let's take it back to the beginning. Our very first guest was
Kimberly
Kim
Shoemaker, Queen,
which
Kim Queen, Queen of networking, Queen of
yes, she is
community.
a badass.
Yes.
We met at Kim's networking event. Kim is everywhere. She inspires so many people. She makes so many people comfortable in networking, which is a big deal when you're a new business owner and you're, dipping your toe out into the world, trying to get comfortable, trying to see where you should land. She does such a good job at it.
She really, and okay, so especially as a new business, one of the
Mm-hmm.
hardest first steps, for me at least it was to walk alone into a room of 30, 40, 50 people
Amen.
and wait for my turn, feeling
Amen.
the anxiety build.
Yes.
And then it's my turn and getting the right words out of my mouth.
Yes.
Not
Even
being
though in
that
your
person
mind,
yes,
you can't concentrate on anything and what anybody else is saying
that's
because
right.
you're replaying in your mind exactly what you want to say. And then it gets to be your turn and you're like, I know I can understand you.
Right? Or you
Yes.
talk for 3 minutes trying to literally get out 30
And you really
seconds
said
worth of
nothing.
words and nobody understands who you are, what you do. But, so Kim holds space for people at all levels of business.
Yep.
But the most beautiful thing is that the people that she attracts
Mm-hmm.
also hold that same space.
Yes.
We were at a Kim's coffee hour. It used to be called that. And I don't know why
Yeah.
my
And
brain
now
keeps
it's
going
coffee and
there.
community with Kim.
Community and coffee, coffee and community, coffee
I
and
don't know.
community with Kim. We should fact check that. We don't have a staff here fact checking stuff in real time.
Nope.
It's
Just
just us.
us.
But there was a new kid and he
Yes.
walked in and I could tell he was confused. He didn't know what was going on.
Yep.
And so I just walked up to him and started talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not the only person that attends this event that does this kind of stuff. There's a
Yep.
new face. Hi, you need somebody to talk to. Hi, you need somebody to talk to.
Yep.
The reason that Kim's networking events are like that is because that's the example she sets.
Exactly. That is that's the tone she sets for her events. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Love it.
So Kim is designated as the badass queen of networking in Hayes County.
Yeah.
Check.
Kimberly
Jen Baker.
Shoemaker, queen of community,
There
queen
we go.
of networking.
Badass queen. She gets badass in front of that
All
title.
right. She is. She
Jen
is that.
Baker. She
Ooh.
has the most fun coffee order.
The most fun. Is that what you said?
Maybe not fun. I feel a little sad about her like non-fat dairy or whatever she gets. But
She
says the woman that drinks half and half every day. So there's that.
she's very clear on her coffee order.
She knows exactly what she loves, and
I
I love that for her.
feel like it was and listeners or guests or not guests, everyone who's listening, please feel free to fact check me. Go back and listen to Jen's episode and see if I got it
Go
right.
back and listen to all the episodes.
Well, yeah, but it's a extra hot, double shot, non-fat latte with one pump of vanilla. I think
Ooh.
that's her coffee order, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back and listen.
Or maybe Jen, you can just respond and let us know. Did we get that correct?
Yes, but
Jen's
it's
go
more
ahead.
than Jen's extensive coffee order.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
she has so much going on in her life,
She
from
does.
being a mom and a wife to a community builder. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's not just building community with Ladies Living Out Loud. She's building community with Modern Roots Realty Group,
Yep,
with
yep,
her business community.
exactly. And in the school still, she still has a teenager in high school, and so she has
Mhm.
community there too. Jen is a busy, very involved in community woman.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So
She has, yes,
how about how about Terry Lee?
balls in the face, all the balls in the face.
Okay.
Oh, bless.
So we recorded some of these episodes early ahead of time.
Yes,
Like
like
we
December.
do.
Hmm.
So when we record an episode, we're clear with our guests that it like right now it's Christmas time, but your episode's not going to air at Christmas time, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
sometimes this information, you know,
Well, and when you're in the
sometimes
moment, you're having good conversation, like it just sometimes slips.
yeah. So Terry was our first guest to talk about building community first. Like when you
Yes.
build when you build community, when you build the relationships, the business naturally flows. So
Yes.
it's like by building community and actually caring about what's going on with other people, you do build trust and everything flows from there. But that particular day, I was joining Terry and an entire group of local people that we network with to play
Yep.
pickleball.
Yep. You
And
were. Did you play pickleball that day or did you just
oh, I played pickleball.
oh, how'd you do?
I did not do bad for a first time.
Hey,
I mean,
good for you.
there were some balls that were flying everywhere. I can tell you that no balls hit me in the face. No
I
balls hit
love
me in
that.
the face that day. But when we were talking about balls in the face, I walked straight into that one.
You totally did. It took
Balls,
everything Terry
balls,
and I had not
balls.
to give you like that's what she said jokes or it took a lot. We had a lot of willpower that day,
Thank you.
Terry
Thank
and
you,
I.
Mandy. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Thank you for mitigating it, but I wouldn't have been mad at you if you didn't. I
Oh,
mean,
I
I want
know,
to give
but
you, Mandy, I want to give you full permission. If I ever completely innocently walk into balls or anything else in the future, please, please, that's what she said. Please.
okay. Well, you know it's gonna happen. I love
I
you,
mean,
Jamie, but your mind doesn't think in that way. And I know you have boys, but still you're like, do. That's just not where you go. I mean,
it's
it's funny
not.
because I was like, oh, I really want to say it, but I'm not going to.
And anybody can throw as much shade as you want at me. I don't care. When I tell you I am really a sweet soul, and when I'm in the moment in conversation, my
Yeah.
mind is not in the gutter.
But when you're
Anywhere
talking
near
about
the
balls
gutter.
in the face, it's kind of hard not to be.
Balls in the face. How many
You did
times
not
do
say
you get
sports balls. You did not specify balls.
how
Anyways.
many times do you have balls in your face?
Uh,
Whenever one is thrown out of left field and bonks me in the forehead, that's what I was thinking. Like, because we
and
all
it
get,
eventually came out of your mouth, but it took a while.
yeah, yeah, and it's okay. But we appreciate the work that Terry does in the community. He's a really thorough and fantastic financial planner and
Yep.
advisor. So we definitely recommend you reaching out to Terry for his services. And who knew? Who knew we're all comedians?
So our guest number what? It was like four. Fourth guest
Oh,
was
yeah.
Dagan.
Oh, okay.
The
So
mayor.
do we not
Huh?
want to talk about your chitty chatty episode anymore?
I
Are
think we
you
already
good there?
talked about my chitty chatty episode. Do we need
Okay.
to talk about it more? I mean, I don't not need to relive that.
Okay, but at least give yourself credit for doing it
Hey, you know
because
what? For those of you who've listened, I'm not a fan of public speaking. I don't mind speaking on the podcast, but there's something about being maybe it's the center of attention. I know the reason behind it. And it's something obviously I need to practice and doing better. I thought I was going to be totally good being on camera, just being able to record an episode like we're doing right now. But you don't have banter. I mean, I guess you could banter with yourself like you have two personalities or something, but that's not really me. I struggled. It was hard. It was hard. It was a
but you
good
did it.
learning lesson. I did it.
You
I
did
just ripped
it.
off the bandy. I didn't even listen to my episode. Like I just recorded it and I was like, good is done. Done is good.
Have
And
you
that was it.
listened to it?
I have not. Nope, I did.
Okay.
I did while I was doing other things. I
Okay.
did not fully engage and sit down with my own episode because I didn't want to feel like I wanted to re-record it. I was just like, it's done. I did it. It's good.
Okay. Well, give yourself a pat on the back or a high
All the gold
five
stars.
because we really do need to celebrate the little wins. And
Yes,
you're a big, huge fan of celebrating all the little victories.
I am. Yeah. We
So
like celebrate like when we get 10 new downloads on the podcast, man. I'm like, whoop, whoop.
Mandy and I are just texting each other numbers and screenshots like,
We do.
oh my gosh, did you see this today? Like, oh my gosh, did you see that today? Oh, so
We purely do the podcast because we enjoy it. It's a creative outlet for us. Plus we
yeah.
get all the words out, which is fun. And we get to share. And
And
so
it really doesn't feel like work. Like
no, it's a lot of fun.
there are a couple of things that I'm working on within my business.
Mm-hmm.
And Mandy will text me and be like, hey, can you do this for the podcast? I'm like, I'm on it. I'm on it. I stop what I'm doing and I go do the podcast stuff.
You're like, yes, can I just push something
Yes.
else off to do the podcast?
Thank you for the fun distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then we had Dagon,
Mm-hmm.
the mayor of Austin Nightlife. I had no idea.
I had no idea all those years there's a possibility that I was drinking on his tab unknowingly.
Yeah, and I didn't live in Austin at the time, and I don't drink, so there's that. I would have
Well,
never been drinking on his tab.
I
But
did live in Austin.
yeah.
Those were the years I was running around on 6th Street. I used to drink a lot. I choose not to drink now. It's a choice,
Yeah,
not a problem.
me too.
But I don't know. He was such an entertaining guest.
Yes. And I hope everybody's picked up his book. Like,
Yes.
pick up his book, and I hope people joined his free the free class he had on
Mhm.
networking and building community. That was super cool.
Yes, he's a great storyteller.
He is.
He's a great
Yes.
speaker.
Yep.
You know, even the tips that he was giving in the episode, like
I
you can
know.
learn so much from just listening to the episode. So
Mm-hmm.
listen to it a couple of times. This is one
Yes.
download.
Write down the nuggets
Yes.
and apply them to your life for sure.
And I may have accidentally said fart.
You totally did. You totally did.
Trying to come out of my mouth, but I said fart.
It was hilarious. You never know with Jaime, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. In my defense, and this is the only defense I'm going to throw out there.
You don't need defense.
Oh, but I do have a lot of brain damage.
You do.
I do. So, all in all, like when all is said and done, if the worst thing I experience is words coming out of my mouth wrong sometimes, y'all, I'm doing freaking fantastic.
I would agree.
And I don't know what I was saying, but it wasn't fart. That's not,
But that's what came out.
that's what of my
That
mouth,
happens.
not my bottom.
Yes.
That would have been
Out the
worse.
mouth. And it wasn't a burp. It was the word.
It was the word. Yeah.
Bless. Okay. Then we had Dane on. Man. I mean, I had some words right. There was lots of old thrown around in that one.
There was lots of what?
Old.
Old.
Who's old?
Oh, those were my words again. At least I can offer a little bit of humor.
Yes.
I literally was telling Dane that he's not old, and then turned around and said, "But you're old."
It's like, your kids, your teenagers, when they're like, oh man, that was so long ago. And you're like, those people are so old. And we're like, but that's us. And they're like, oh, you're not old. And you're like, that's what you just said. You just called me old.
Had. So is it old or is it not old? And it was funny when we finished recording Dane's episode. Mandy, do you remember the first thing you said to me?
No, I don't. What did I say?
You said, I didn't even need to be here for this episode.
Oh, that is so true. That is so true. Yes. It was such a deep conversation. But like for me, I really do get uncomfortable in the deep areas that's where Jaime lives. That's what Jaime does for a living, is go deep with people.
It's my domain.
And you do hold space really well for people when they go deep. And people will share things with me, and I'm like, why are you sharing that with me? I'm gonna just start being like, you need to talk to Jaime. Just start handing your business cards out everywhere. I struggle with holding emotional spaces for people. Like Jaime and I were at coffee one time, and we were talking about something that just hit Jaime in the feels, as things do, and she started crying. And I
My
literally
eyes
was like,
welled up. My eyes
no,
welled
you
up. I
literally had
didn't cry.
tears that like dripped to here. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you sweating from your eyeballs? Because what are these? I don't know. I'm
Okay.
just,
So if you guys are just hearing this, at some point, all of these episodes are going to be up on YouTube. So make sure you come back to this episode.
yes, please
She
do.
says, "What is this?" What is she gets her finger like close to my face? What is this?
I literally did. That just tells you where the emotions land for Mandy. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. I
So
don't carry tissues. I don't know.
so
You just leave?
Mandy was present. Mandy was present. She joined the conversation here and there.
I did.
And Dane and I really just ran with it, and we ran all over the place. But you guys, I cannot stress enough, seriously, how impressive Dane is. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
he's an emotionally intelligent man.
Yep, yep.
What? They do
Yeah, it was a
exist.
really good conversation. And
It's
he's a
like
local
this.
business owner.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. He owns a business. He's a dad. He's an Air Force vet. He's a community builder.
Yes, he is. Yep.
He is a community builder, and his faith is really strong.
Yep.
And just because I call him old and then tell him he's not old, and you know, and we go
He had a good
deep.
humor about it.
Yes, I think that episode needed just a little bit of lighthearted laughter because
Apparently,
he opens up
he
about
does.
tragedy, he opens
Yeah.
up about why it's different with men and women's communication,
Yep. Yep.
different communication types, what we're doing with our kids.
Yep.
Just I mean great episode,
Yes.
great episode.
And then we had Stephanie Swan on. And Stephanie doesn't own a business. I think she might have been our only guest that doesn't own a business that we had on. Oh, I guess Kim doesn't own a business either.
She used to, but she's not a current business owner.
Yep.
Yep.
And Stephanie was a guest pick of mine, and she just really sees people well and loves them well. She sees them exactly where they are, even when they're trying to hide, right? Being invisible. And she just really loves on her community and builds it and makes you feel safe where you're at, and loved and seen. I can't say enough good things about Stephanie and her community building skills, even if she's not doing them intentionally. And she's served tons of different communities from she still has kids in school, in middle and high school. She serves her community well there. She's part of Austin Angels, and she serves the people that are serving kids, which is really, really awesome.
Yeah, I
So,
think Stephanie and I had met before,
mhm.
um, but not really officially, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
at a football game. I'm at a
when
football
she was
game.
serving her community.
She was selling t-shirts that she
Yep.
made.
Yep.
But I in Stephanie's episode, okay, you and Stephanie talked more than me and Stephanie talked. Me and Dane talked more than you and Dane
Yeah.
talked. There are times
Yeah.
you talk more, times I talk more. It just happens.
Yep.
Um, there was a moment in Stephanie's episode where it was like a light bulb moment for me, right? And I'm like,
Okay.
hold on, hold on. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding all of this correctly. And I ran through some things
Mm-hmm.
and I said, okay, so all the years you were building that community, you didn't even realize what you were building, the impact it was having, or the future impact that was going to happen from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes.
that is Stephanie Swan.
Yes.
You want to
Amen.
talk about a sweet, pure soul that is here to be in service.
Yes, for sure. I think maybe that is the highlight of what we've learned from Community is everybody that we admire, that we feel like we wanted to have as guests. They're all in service to their communities. They serve their community very deeply, very well. They show up well, which brings me to our last guest, Alan Deaver. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Such a humble community servant. I think those were the
Mm-hmm.
words that you used. And wow, he is not braggadocious in any way.
Mm-hmm.
He has been serving community for what did he say, like 30 plus years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Between starting in the Air Force and joining the Masons, um, he really understands the importance of the brotherhood and the sisterhood.
Yeah, for sure.
He understands the role that people play in each other's lives. He understands that we're not supposed to be doing this on our own.
Yes. Yes.
He believes in the giver's gain. And
Yes.
I found it like when you talk about humility, um,
Hmm.
I know there are more events that he either has created or he sponsors or he hosts for other
Hmm.
people or he
Yep.
promotes for other people. And it
Yep.
was like I was trying to draw all of these other events out of him. But this is just literally by this point, it's who he is.
Yes.
He serves
Yes.
in community so much that it is part of his identity.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. He was a really fun guest to have on. His take on community was very interesting and showing up for people and getting back to almost the small town life in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was super, super interesting. We learned a lot about community this season. We learned
Gosh.
it's okay to step away when community is not right for you anymore. Or maybe it's changed, or maybe you stepped in a community that wasn't ever meant for you to begin with, right? It just isn't your people. And knowing when it's okay to walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
We learned a lot.
Oh, the okay, so we didn't talk about the spicy episode.
We didn't.
We did not talk about the spicy episode. That was just a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I don't know. My goal is to be a little bit more spicy, to continue to be a little bit more spicy, to be a little more spicy here. Like
Yes.
our sea legs are they're stabilizing, right? I'm
Yes.
not going to
We for
say
sure left the harbor on the podcast. Felt like
right.
season one, we kind of played it safe. We were in harbor, right? But our ship is sailing now. And
We're out there.
we've figured it out. We've gotten used to it. The boats are moving.
And changes are going to continue to happen, but like the
I don't want
reason
to say change. Can we change that word? Can
yeah.
we say growth is going to continue to happen?
Well, yeah, of course growth is going to continue to happen.
I don't want to say we're changing anything. We're growing.
We're growing, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think with come grow, I mean, but lessons, right?
Lessons.
Tweaking. We've already started tweaking the way we do things.
Yes, for
um
sure.
we love feedback. Sometimes when we get feedback, um oh my gosh, that's a
That was such a good
brilliant
idea. Let's
idea.
implement that now.
I
Yeah, we
mean,
don't even wait for a new season.
can we give props to where, like, can we give credit? Can we give a shout out there
Sure, why not?
to Mandy's awesome husband for making a suggestion um,
Hmm.
of how to end the show when we have guests? And if
Yeah, because
you
for sure we
notice,
had some awkward endings in our seasons where we're like, okay, well, bye.
bye.
Like,
Now everybody's done. Like,
yeah.
right? So, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for that feedback because it's awesome and it helps us
Yes.
get better.
Yes, for sure.
Feedback helps us get better. But I think I went totally off the rails. I think I went totally off the rails. I think that jumping back to where your attention goes, your energy flows. That's with everything in life.
Yep.
And really, truly, the real reason I wanted to re record my episode is I do think because my focus has been so much on community with
Mm-hmm.
all of this podcast and or all of our guests and just
And business, your business and
and the
life.
business and all of the things.
Yep.
I am showing up in community different. People are
Mm-hmm.
responding in community different. I have had a completely different community experience in the last few months than I've had in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to feel isolated. I used to feel
Yeah.
like I was on an island by myself. And I don't feel that way anymore.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yep.
So it's it's not necessarily where are my words? Where are my words? They just zipped right out of my head. It's not so much a perspective shift, it's an experience. I had a different experience in community. And it
Mm-hmm.
is in part because of these conversations and having
Yep.
these conversations with all of our guests. And if all of our guests are serving from a place of giver's gain or building relationships,
Yep.
clearly they're it's working.
Yes, for sure. For sure. So milestones in this season. We're over 1,000 downloads.
Yep.
That's awesome. Like over 1,000 downloads. Like
Mhm.
beyond excited.
Beyond excited.
Um, we are international. I can't just say like, oh, we had one international experience. I know Jamie's an international author. I guess I'm an international illustrator.
I'm an
But
international daily habits coach, Mandy. I've worked
yes,
with
you are.
clients in France, Australia, Mexico, and Canada. So I think we get to own that title of
Yes.
international. We are an international podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Amen.
To all of
Um,
our fans and friends and followers all over the world.
yes, thank you. Maybe we need to learn how to say thank you in all the different languages.
I'm good.
That'd be a lot. That'd be a whole podcast. Everybody could make fun of me for saying it all wrong. Sometimes I feel like tomater. Okay, so we have some really exciting things coming up, right? We are launching our community news.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even taking a break. We're so excited about season 3. We are diving right in. So you'll be listening to this, and then next Monday, first episode of season 3 is dropping like that.
A whole new
Drop it like it's
season.
hot. Drop it like it's hot. So I'm just gonna go for it. Right.
You almost got coffee out the nose again.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Oh my gosh. One of these days, coffee is going to come out of my nose. Okay. I don't want to take away from the exciting news, but Mandy, did I ever tell you that one time I was sitting right here with a client and I got so excited for her like breakthrough?
Yeah.
And I was like, yay! And my whole chair, like I went.
Oh, you fell over?
I fell over backwards.
That's hilarious.
So who knows? Who knows what season 3 is going to hold?
Yes, you never know. So season 3, drum roll. It is all about
Wellness.
wellness.
In every way you can think of wellness in your finances, wellness in your physical body, wellness in your mind, wellness in your business, wellness in your social media, wellness in your mortgage, wellness in what else, Mandy?
Stuff your clutter.
Oh,
Which goes to physical and mental.
yep.
Right? We have some amazing guests lined up.
Yep.
I'm very excited for this season. And it quite possibly might take us into 2026.
Holy shit. That seems big,
It
but
does.
we are also not going to have guests every single week.
That is true.
One thing we did notice in looking at the analytics is as people are listening to all of our episodes about community in season 2, they're also going back and listening to season 1. So please keep going back and listening. Listen to all
Yes,
of
for
the
sure.
episodes that you missed. But what that tells me in the numbers is that you missed these conversations,
You
right?
missed us.
You missed us being
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
So, yes, we're excited. We want to learn and grow, period. And we want
Yep.
to drag you along with us.
So here you go. You're getting drug along.
So we got a newsletter.
Nope.
No, we've got community news.
Yes. Not a who wants a newsletter? No one.
Jaime and her words.
Yep.
Um
No one wants a newsletter. So if you're in business and you're calling your emails newsletters, stop.
okay.
We have community news dropping. So you'll be able to join our community news.
Ooh, is that link going to be in these show notes?
It is.
Nice.
So please join. Please join. We have some in-person coffee chats that we're going to get on the books.
Mm-hmm.
We are toying with a community group, whether that's going to be on Facebook or maybe on a separate app where people can come together and help each other and have conversations around community, around coffee. Maybe it's just like I'm traveling and I want to know the best coffee place and wherever I might be. I want to hear
Yeah.
the thoughts, right? So
maybe it's how do we I'm so sorry if you can hear that dog barking in the background.
we can hear the dog barking.
This is real life, right? Authentic.
Yep.
Coffee memes.
Yeah, coffee memes.
We have to have coffee memes. If we do a community, we need people to share all the funny
memes.
Coffee stuff.
Poop. Poop ones too. Yep, all of them.
Of course, we want to uplift and inspire and have the deep conversations. But I think one of the reasons the podcast started from the beginning is that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. We need to have more fun.
Yes, for sure.
We need to have more fun.
So is there anything else that we're going to add to that list?
Put the dog in a bark collar next time we record.
No.
No, I kid.
I think that's it.
So we've got lots of guests that we are super grateful for. Yes. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. We have over 1,000 downloads. We are officially international. We've got community news coming, and you can sign up for that in these show notes. Yep. Are we going to call it Coffee with M&J Live or?
Ooh, that feels like we might need like an acoustic guitar, and I don't know. Probably. That sounds good to me. We just named our community events where you're going to come and just chat with us.
Mm-hmm. And these coffee. A lot of these things are in the works. Yes, a lot of we've got a long story. We've got a lot of things in the works, and
we're excited. We're working on a website, and we may or may not launch some swag.
For
2025
who wants cute goals. Coffee with M&J cups?
Right, we don't have them yet. Maybe a t-shirt, maybe some stickers. Who knows? Maybe a fun sweatshirt. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, I could do a hoodie.
So many fun ideas. I could
do a big oversized hoodie.
To yoga in?
Hey, to run around and cover my bottom in my yoga pants. Yes.
So we have some fun things. We have some ideas. And of course, if you have ideas that you're like, ooh, you guys should consider this. Can't guarantee that we will do all of your ideas, but we're always up for hearing what you have available. So,
ooh, and if you're interested in being a guest and you have an area of expertise in wellness, go ahead over to Instagram or Facebook and click the link and fill out the speaker application.
Yes, please.
It does not mean Just because you fill out the application does not guarantee you a spot.
Nope. Yep.
But yeah, if you really want to join the conversation and you have a clear, concise message about wellness, let us,
Yes,
submit
for
your
sure.
application.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's a long one. We got it all out. Thank you again for being here. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this recording, please leave us a 5-star review and share with your friends, family, and of course, your favorite barista.
Thank you so much for joining today's adventure of coffee with M and J. You can find us on all major social media platforms, as well as MJ Designs and Marketing and New Soul Rising.
We want you to leave feeling inspired to live your best life to your fullest potential. Until next time.